Hey everyone, Christina Del Rey with your forecast for the week of January 11th, 2020. Very big week in astrology. I think that perhaps myself and some other astrologers as well, perhaps we underestimated the astrology of last week. But the truth of the matter is, I think now that Mars is in Taurus along with Uranus, and even though they're not quite together yet, they are going to meet in the sky, so they are applying to each other. And this is going to be big shakeups and unpredictability, and possibly even violence, I hate to say. So there are a lot of unpredictable energies going on, especially for January and February. It does look like it will get a little bit better after that, but there will be social unrest probably pretty much all year. I honestly did not expect what happened in the nation, in the United States, until like the 20th or around the 20th of January. So it will be interesting to see how that energy manifests on that day. But for this week, we have a new moon, and it's a very significant new moon because if you remember, we had the Pluto-Saturn conjunction in January last year. It was right around exactly the same time. And this is what, like, we didn't know it at the time. I mean, astrologers predicted that there was going to be a major restructuring, but we didn't know exactly what it was going to be. So think back to January of last year when you had really no idea that a wrecking ball was coming through your life. And, you know, you were kind of like, we were kind of like sitting ducks, really. You know, even though astrologers knew that something big was coming, we just couldn't really put our finger on it. We really knew that what I kept thinking was, you know, Donald Trump was going to go down, or, you know, like the structure, the political structure was going to go down. And that was true to some extent, but it was a lot more than that. So anyway, this new moon is going to reactivate whatever you were kind of blindsided with in January. So whatever you started in January, or whatever, you know, whatever that meant for you, that restructuring of your life, whatever completely changed, this is kind of bringing that wound back up. However, we're starting a new cycle on it, and we are hopefully going to manifest a new energy and rebuilding energy on that same degree. So the fact that this new moon is at the same degree just shows that, you know, the universe knows what it's doing. And you're going to be you're not going to be a sitting duck anymore. You're going to be aware of how you have to change, how you have to empower yourself, because this new moon is going to be conjunct Pluto, which is very intense. So intense emotions, you know, stepping into the higher manifestation of this is stepping into your power more fully, reconstructing your life. But this time you're doing it with knowledge. You are not, you know, just kind of sitting there and then boom, something happens and changes your life. It's more like you're empowered now. And Pluto is really about evolution. So what did you learn in the past year? How are you going to apply what you learned in the past year? The biggest thing too with Pluto, I think, is intentions. If you have good intentions, I believe that, you know, you'll get the higher manifestation, hopefully. But if you have manipulative, or if you have, you know, harmful intentions, then, you know, you might manifest the lower side, you know, of Pluto. And, you know, that can lead to all kinds of, you know, not pleasant things like, fighting and violence and things like that. So we want to keep it at the highest vibration possible. You're going to take what you learned and you're going to have a priority shift. You're shifting your priorities now. And the structures that you have built have been torn. How are you going to rebuild them? That's the question that this new moon is asking you. And you should set your intentions as well. And Pluto is very deep. It's very emotional and very deep. So it's important to sit with that energy. And, where was your power taken away? How are you going to take back that power? So we have this, and then we have Mars, in Taurus along with Uranus, and that is shakeups in foundations, money, shakeups, shakeups in resources, because Taurus is all about resources. So there's going to be those, there's going to be that instability or that unpredictability. And as if this new moon wasn't enough, conjunct Pluto, we're also going to have Uranus go direct like a day later. So Uranus going direct is going to be all about freedom and independence from a situation that it's going to be empowering. It's going to free you, and it's going to free you from some wounds as well. So we have a big week in astrology this week. Let's see where this falls in your sign. Hello, Virgo. So Mercury is going to square Uranus on Tuesday. Mercury is your planet after all, and you do tend to be more sensitive to Mercury. It squares Uranus, you may have words with somebody, and I would just be mindful, because this could be like, somebody saying something to you that offends you and you reacting erratically to it. This is likely to happen in the workplace or wherever you go day to day. Could be in a legal setting or a higher education setting. So I would just, be mindful that you don't pop off too much. And we also have this new moon square Pluto at the same degree that the Pluto-Saturn conjunction happened in January 2020. And like I said, we were all kind of sitting ducks. We didn't really know that, a big part of our life was going to be restructured. And for you, this happened in a part of the chart that has to do with creativity, romance, and children you want or children that you have, and also fun too. So we kind of had that wrecking ball that came through and kind of leveled everything we built in that area. And now, we have to look at what we learned for the year in this area. And we have to try to see things in a new light and figure out what we're going to build there. How are we going to take the lessons that we learned in 2020 and build something new that will empower us in this area? And old wounds will come up because it is Pluto, and Pluto is intense. And there might have to be, a transformation. There will be a transformation, and you're going to have to empower yourself. You're going to have to shift your priorities. You can't go back. We're constantly evolving, so you can't go back to old truths in this area. You have to take the new truths and say, okay, how are you going to apply it to who you are now? What are you going to build next in this area? Intention is everything. So you want to have empowering intentions. If your intentions include manipulation, that is the darker side of Pluto. So try to start something new with good intentions here. But you're starting something new, but it's on an old issue. It's just applying what you've learned. As if that wasn't enough, we also have Uranus going direct, and that is happening on Thursday the 14th. And for you, it's happening in a part of the chart that has to do with higher education, philosophy, legal matters and long distance travel. And this is, Uranus tends to shake us free from something. And right after it goes direct, it's going to make a beautiful trine to Venus. And now we're back to the romance and the children. So wherever you're going forward in this area, you're supporting the new goals that you are forming where the new moon is. Okay. So your relationships, everything's going to move forward, but yet you're going to feel more free and independent and empowered. So use this energy very wisely. There will be, wounds that do come up, but you're going to try to heal them now. You're going to try to take action on healing them. Now, Mars is in Taurus, in that same 9th house area for you. And, there will be shakeups in your philosophies. There will be shakeups in your traveling plans. There will be shakeups in, legal matters for you. Like this is, this is powerful energy, Mars and Uranus together in the same sign. So there will be changes in that area. You just have to be prepared for the shakeups. However, I do think that it will be a great week.